the Getaway, Rock Springs Conservation Area, and the ride from Bob Brady, a 2020 Wrangler Unlimited Rubicon 4x4. Bright white clear coat exterior, black leather bucket seats on the inside. It is rugged for off-road adventures, but all of the high-tech inside. And if you're really feeling adventurous, just take off the top, take off the doors, go topless. This is your summer getaway vehicle.
It's hot, Bob.
It's the Hot 25 with the Bob Brady Auto Group, and we're out at one of the great gyms of our community, Rock Springs Center, which is all part of the Macon County Conservation District. I learned this week we were both born the same year, 1966. How did this all get started?
Well, back in those times, actually, the state allowed legislation for counties to go ahead and establish a conservation district. So the people in Macon County were one of the only 5 counties to take advantage of that.
That's pretty amazing. And programs and activities, I know people use this for the trails. There's 9 separate trails out here.
There's probably more.
Yeah.
We're adding more all the time. Yes, there's plenty of options. We have trail maps. There are actually 2 containers outside, but if they're empty, you can come inside the Nature Center and grab maps.
Talk to me a little bit about some of the workshops, the hikes, just some of the things that happen throughout the season.
Sure. Well, we offer tons of activities, as far as history. We have special events at the Homestead Farm.
And what is the Homestead Farm?
The Homestead Farm is actually the oldest structure in Macon County on its original foundation.
Talk to me a little bit about, people are able to canoe, they're able to, have birthday parties, they're able to have gatherings, you have pavilions for rental. Anything new, as far as, being in this phase of the pandemic that people need to know about using the park itself?
Yeah, well, for one thing, all group sizes are limited to 50. That's max. So if you do rent the pavilion or a room inside, we have to keep it at 50 or less.
Let's go back over the trails a little bit, the conservation area trails. You've got a quarter mile, a half mile, 1.3 miles, up to 2.25 miles. And like I said, all degrees from easy to moderate to even difficult. But one of the great things is the bike path here, which connects all the way to Fairview Park. And one of the side chutes off that bike path, which has become very popular, is the Whispering Pines. And that is huge with weddings and senior pictures. How did that come about?
Well, before it was Conservation District land, the landowner that was here actually got involved in a government program to plant pine trees for habitat. And there's about 500 pine trees in there. They're not native. White pines and red pines, half and half. So over those years, of course, they've grown to where they are now, about 100 foot tall or so. Well, we're pretty unique here in that we have a lot of prairie. Illinois is a prairie state, so if you come out in a summer day, you're going to hear and see animals you wouldn't normally because they live in the prairie and nowhere else. So bluebirds, dickcissels, Henslow sparrows. We also have lots of reptiles, of course, and amphibians, so you never know what you're going to see. We actually also have a good population of pheasants.
The river trail's the longest, and that gets you back into history. You got the turtle ponds, and you've got the Rock Spring bottling plant, which not a lot of people realize that there's still sort of a structure out there that exists.
Right, that's actually where we got our name, Rock Springs. There's a bottling plant there. In the early 1900s, a fellow actually built a building there and tapped the natural spring and bottled the water and sold it here in Decatur. But it is still there, and it's a great piece of Macon County history.
Make sure you follow the Hot 25 all summer long, driven by the Bob Brady Auto Group and NowDecatur.com.